We sort of haven't talked in a way about the war on Christmas, which doesn't exist, for a while, because there was a Republican in office. So let me refresh your memory as to how the war on Christmas works. It doesn't actually exist, but now there's a Democrat in office. So Fox News wants to fully resurrect the war on Christmas. When a Republican is in office as president, the story is Democrats want to wage the war on Christmas. But thankfully, we've got a Republican president, so they're not going to succeed. That's the story when a Republican president is in office. When there's a Democratic president in office, the story is the full war on Christmas routine. The left wants to cancel Christmas. They want it to be illegal to say Christmas. They want it to be illegal to be Christian. They don't want gifts. They don't want anything. Okay. This year, the war on Christmas under a Democratic president is combining with the possibility of supply chain issues delaying Christmas gifts. And so Dr. Fauci is being taken out of context when he was asked last week or the week before about large Christmas gatherings. It's all being ramped up and kind of rolled together. Now, here's a little compilation we will play. This is from the recount. Very nicely done.
The supply chain crunch that threatens to spoil the holiday season. There will be things that people can't get.
Toys not getting shipped.
Toys like Tonka trucks.
Tonka trucks.
Tonka trucks.
Yeah.
My Little Pony, Care Bears.
This is the type of things that make or break a Christmas.
Lincoln Logs. Care Bears.
Tonka trucks. My Little Pony.
We've showed you the kind of trek from the Care Bear in a factory in China to the store in Massachusetts.
Well, this is the Togetherness Care Bear, and everybody needs to be together, and everybody needs a hug. They're going to be harder to find.
If people can't get bacon and people can't get a Tonka toy, that would be Joe Biden.
Yeah, that would just be terrible for Joe Biden. So then the House Republicans tweeted a picture of Joe Biden with the caption, quote, "This is the guys who is trying to steal Christmas. Americans are not going to let that happen." And I know it shouldn't be, but it's still shocking to me that people continue to fall for this stuff. A headline while Peter Doocy was reporting from the White House read, Toy Association CEO says it may be too late to save Christmas. Then at another moment when Peter Doocy was reporting, it said, White House scrambles as supply crisis threatens Christmas. Neil Cavuto had an explosive story with an interview even called Christmas Tree Sellers Hit by Supply Chain Delays. And then on the opinion shows, I know, right? On the opinion shows, Laura Ingraham had a story called The Biden Who Stole Christmas. Sean Hannity then ran an almost identical story called The Grinch Who Stole Christmas, but there's a picture of Joe Biden in a green suit and tie. Yesterday morning, there was a segment on Unfiltered with Dan Bongino. That might be a Fox News Online show. Maybe it's an actual TV show on the weekends. I don't know. The segment was called How the Biden Administration is Stealing Christmas. Aaron Rupar reported on Thursday last week that Fox News mentioned Christmas at least 106 times in the prior 24 hours. This is sort of like the epitome of the cultural replacing the substantive for the American right wing. We've talked about it before. This particular story, the whole war on Christmas thing, goes back to Bill O'Reilly and some of those types in the early 2000s. They started this in the way that it exists now. They started it in the early 2000s saying Christmas is being banned, saying Merry Christmas is being banned. It's an attack on Christianity. They're trying to diminish Christianity, etc. The real genesis of this story is that there were some companies that decided to be marginally more inclusive by saying, hey, you know what? Let's say happy holidays. That's basically the story. And everybody was fine and life continued and it was no big deal. But that was what started what is now known as the war on Christmas, and now just perfectly supply chain issues melding with it. Dr. Fauci's comments about Christmas, which, by the way, we'll follow up on today's bonus show. He's saying if you're vaccinated, it's probably fine to gather, actually. That blended into it. And now Fox News is utterly determined to resurrect this war on Christmas. Incredible, but they're succeeding. This is the type of stuff that does well. It gets ratings. It gets people angry. The same way we've got to stop socialism. Really? What is socialism? Oh, it's Biden. What? Yeah, it works. It works. And they have no policy. And that's why they're doing it. And you're already seeing war on Christmas stuff show up. It was early October when it started. It's already there. And now it's building in all the usual online enclaves. One of our sponsors is privacy.com. They're giving you $5 when you sign up for their completely free service at privacy.com/Pacman. I've been using Privacy for a little over a year now. You've heard me talk about it before. It's a lifesaver, and here's how it works. Takes just a couple of minutes to set up. Anytime you buy something online or on the phone, instead of actually using your real credit card number, the Privacy app and the browser plugin let you give each company a randomized virtual credit card number that you create out of thin air. It'll even autofill the card number with one click. And the payment is taken out of your checking account without the merchant ever knowing your real information. So this allows you to keep your banking information secure, but also to take control of your finances. You can create up to 12 of these virtual credit cards a month. You can set spending limits. You can freeze them. You can delete them anytime you want. So when you do this, it means you're not going to be charged when you don't want to be, because you can destroy the virtual card number right after using it, which, for instance, I love using free trials because I know I won't be charged when the trial is over if I use a virtual credit card number. You're keeping your identity private by not telling companies who you are. You're keeping your bank or credit card info protected against data breaches and identity theft. And it's free. There's no catch whatsoever. But if you want, Privacy also offers a $10 a month plan that gives you 1% cash back and lets you create 36 credit cards a month, and a $25 a month plan tailored more for small businesses where you can create 60 card numbers a month and much more. But definitely go ahead and at least get started with the free plan. You'll protect your financial info. Companies can't charge you unexpectedly. And like I said, you'll get $5 to spend when you sign up at privacy.com/Pacman.